track that. The goal is to play 400. But if it doesn't, of course,
Hold the bottom hand.
Good afternoon, Hardrocker fans. Welcome to our coaches luncheon today. First off, a big thank you to our sponsor, Subway, for providing our lunch today. Just an update on Jeep raffle tickets. I had my notes already done, and we sold 2 more at the door today, so thank you for those of you who bought them. So we only have 226 left. So we're doing a very good job. We have just over a month to sell them out to $9.99. So like I said, it's a win-win-win. It's all about getting a Jeep, which I think most of you in this room think that you're going to drive away in, and or $15,000, or we're supporting our scholar athletes. So thanks for your support with that. I think so far it's been a great event that we put on to raise scholarship money, so we're going to continue on with the momentum forward. This weekend we had track and field was down in Shadron. We'll have Steve talk about that. And if you were here for our basketball games, it was was the best atmosphere I've been at some School of Mines games in a long time. And the energy was great from the crowd, and definitely what we saw on the court was a very good product of a lot of hard work and energy, both on the players' part and the coaches. So couple things, you know, girls team came up short on Friday night. That was a heartbreaking loss, but they came back on Saturday and showed what they're all about. And I do need to thank Coach Glenn. I think it was the last coach's luncheon. I asked him to put into play for dunks, and I did get 3 of them on Friday night. So I am so happy with that. So thank you. I'm going to just assume that that was because of my comment last week. So I'll roll with that. So anyway, and I tell you what, Alec, my gosh, that guy touched the ball on Tuesday, and he was just magic. I don't think he could do anything wrong. So a big shout out to him, because he was spectacular to watch on the court this weekend. So anyway, with that being said, I'll let the coaches come up, but next week is at Buffalo Wild Wings at 11:30. We'll see you out, but with that being said, come on up, Steve. Tell us about some track.
All right, thanks, Maria. And yeah, it was a good weekend for us. Looked like it was a good weekend all around. Really enjoyed watching the basketball games and getting a chance to see them get after it a little bit. But for us, you know, basketball got to practice a little more than we did going into their next competition. We brought the kids in on Monday and jumped into this one on Saturday, and so this was really more there as a chance to kind of get the rust off a little bit and kind of get them moving again after a long break. You know, the big thing for our kids, you know, you spend all fall training, and we have one meet, and then all of a sudden everything goes quiet, and so it's really kind of a weird thing to come back for that first meet. Everybody's a little bit out of their game, a little bit out of their norm, and so it's really important for us to get out there and compete right away. And so we went down to Shadron State, and it was a 5-team meet: Metro, Shadron, Black Hills State, Billings, and of course us. And saw some pretty good things overall. We had started things off. Field events always start a track meet, because you got to get those rolling or they won't get done in time. And right away, Travis Kleinsaucer came out and won the pole vault for us on the men's side. Didn't have a great mark, but came out and competed well and put in some good attempts at some higher bars. And then as everything else started getting rolling, I happened to catch my breath for just a minute after the high jump got done. We had Jay Cass finish second in the high jump for us, went 195 again, and happened to look over and I see Erica Keeble, one of our pole vaulters, doing a little jig over by the vault. Well, come to find out, she just cleared 405. 405 is 13, 3.5, which ties her personal best, ties her school record, and is an automatic qualifier for nationals.
Oh, wow.
And Brad's actually got the vault right here. Turned down in that same competition, her teammate, one of our freshmen out of Montana. Yeah. Her teammate, Cameron Scully, went 350, which puts her just got 4 inches away from a national qualifying marker. So really, really good things happening in the vault right now. We're really excited about where they're at. Some of the other big marks that we saw, Kevin Tack had a big rebound after Black Hill State meet, finished 4th overall. Actually ran faster here than he did this year than he did last year at the same meet, which is good to know, and especially for a guy who finished 3rd outdoors for us in the conference. So pretty excited about that. And then the throws were really where we saw a lot of action happen. And here we've got Macy McClure. Macy came back and she looked like she didn't miss a beat. She almost PR'd in both the weight and the shot, which was fantastic. We've got Jayla Jarnigan here. Jayla was our other big story of the weekend. And the women's weight throw had the opportunity to close out the meet. Normally it's 4x4 is the last event. Well, because the meet was a little bit smaller, the weight throw actually, the women's weight actually wound up being the last event. And you got a chance to see the top 2 throwers in the RMAC going head to head in Kyla Savo from Black Hills and Jayla. They're sitting 1-2 in the RMAC right now. And Jayla, I think it was her 4th throw of the competition. Of course, I happen to have had to step out to go get our pizzas, and she throws a national qualifying mark as well. So we have 2 women sitting on the national list right now. Erica's sitting 2nd in the nation. Jayla's sitting 26th in the nation. So that's a really, really good piece for us as we get going. It all just kind of snowballed. Initially the day started, aside from Erica and Cameron in the vault, the day started kind of slow for us. But kids just kept plugging away, and we started seeing these things start to pick up a little bit here and there. We had a guy PR by 2 seconds in the mile. We had one of our 3K runners, Taylor Bright, PR'd by 34 seconds in the 3K, which is a huge PR. And so saw some really good things, and all of a sudden then you see the throwers. The shot was a little bit rough for them. They managed to turn things around, kind of flip that switch and get things going in the weight throw. And we saw throwers finish 2nd and 5th on both the men's and the women's side, and had 4 PRs come just from the weight throw. Out of so really, really good pieces there, and really excited about where we're going. This next week we go over to Black Hill State. This is going to be the Dave Little meet, which is one of the bigger meets of the year. It's going to be should be a pretty good one. We'll get a chance to see Dickinson State finally. They usually give us some good push in the jumps and the sprints, and then of course some of those chances to get some of those head-to-head matchups again. Black Hill State and us have some really good vault matchups going on, and then there's of course some really good throws pieces as well. Any questions?
How many more indoor meets do you have?
5 before the conference, and that includes Mankato and SDSU, where we'll set marching squads.
Does Black Hills ever get to host the indoor conference?
Yes, we're at.
Yep.
We're at Colorado Springs this year, so I think if I remember my cycle correctly, it comes back to them in about 2 years. So I think we have to go up to Gunnison first, and then.
Another question, last year's conference track meet was so cold and miserable. How long will we have to wait till we get that done? The whole cycle?
So it's alphabetical right now, but there's only 7 teams, I believe, in the conference that have they have outdoor tracks, so it's out here. So hopefully we can put on a little bit warmer one next time.
But Black Hills will be in that mix, and Shattuck will also be in the mix for that.
Shabin will be now because their outdoor track will get finished this spring.
Right.
So we're excited about that because it'll be nice to be able to sleep in our beds, own beds a little more often and not have to go to the mountains quite as much.
Well, the competition is just so good.
For winter training, where do you run in the wintertime in the train inside?
It depends on how big our groups are. A lot of times we're just right next door here on the treadmills. If we have a bigger group, then we split between the group next door and going up to the wellness center. As much as we can, like with our distance runners, we send them outdoors as much as possible. So like today, they're cold. They're super stoked because it's 50 degrees and awesome out. But last week, there was a lot of treadmills. It just gets old real fast. Other questions? All right, thank you.
Good afternoon. Last week I started out giving a shout out to our women's basketball assistant. This week I got to give a shout out to Reese. He's my significant other and also our personal team chef. And we had a phenomenal meal last night. So treated the girls to a little bit of a gourmet meal that they probably won't have until basketball season's over and they have time to practice and cook in the kitchen. But just want to give a shout out. It's hard. It's hard when you're dating a coach or married to a coach and you know your life is purely basketball for 6 months. And between Mike and Reese, they do a good job of keeping my stress levels down and reminding me what's important. So that being said,
What was the menu?
I honestly don't know, but there was chicken. Reese is the chef. I'm not. I will just admit to it. But there was chicken, there was some gravy with some bacon in it, some tomatoes. It was fancy. Let's just say that. It was fancy. Yes, exactly. There was not a plate with anything left over last night. We didn't even have leftovers at the end for the girls to take home. They ate it all. So. But it was nice to spoil them. We try to do one team meal a month, and we thought after that weekend it was a good reward for them to just hang out, relax, and like I said, eat some home cooking, especially before our long road trip this weekend. So last weekend, like Maria mentioned, you know, Friday was a tough game. I thought we came out and played our best basketball of the season in the second half. A big part of that was Anna Haugen. At halftime, we looked at the rebounds, and everybody on our team had 1 rebound, minus Naomi. Naomi had 4. But we're like, that's not okay. We're a better rebounding team than that. We also talked about how many points they had scored at halftime. It was around, I think it was around 40. I kind of blocked that stuff out after we moved on from it. But, you know, we talked about we're a way better defensive team than that. And I thought the team responded phenomenally of coming out in that third quarter, rebounding the ball again, like I said, sparked by Anna. She had 4-0 boards in that quarter alone. Molly McCabe ended with 4-0 boards. Naomi ended with 4-0 boards. And those are huge advantages for us because that means we get another possession, we get another chance to score, and they don't. And so, like I said, just the effort, energy, everything they brought in that third quarter and that fourth quarter was all a coach can ask for. Obviously, couldn't quite get a shot off at the end of regulation. We had a chance. And then in overtime, you know, really good players make really good plays. And we played against a very tough player on Colorado Mines' team. We did a fairly decent job of defending her the whole game, and then she scored 8 points in overtime. She's a great player. She made a couple big shots to start overtime. We had to crawl out of that hole as well, but we were right there. We gave ourselves a chance. Ryan actually got a great look at the hoop at the end of overtime. We just didn't quite get the bounce that the other team did. But like I said, very proud of our team, very proud of their effort. And I said, if we play basketball like that last 25 minutes, we're winning the rest of the games this season. Because it was just, they buckled down, they played hard, they played together, and they were scrappy. And that's what you need sometimes, is some scrappiness. One of the highlights out of that game, Naomi Hildalgo, who I brought to talk to you guys today, had her first of very many double-doubles. Naomi's just a freshman this year, and it was kind of fun this weekend because the crowd got to see what we see every day in practice. Naomi is going to be the future of Hardrock women's basketball. She's a phenomenal player. And she gets to learn from Anna, which I've only got 11 games left with. I'm stressing out. But like I said, Naomi's learned a lot from those two. They're phenomenal leaders in the post, and you could see that with Melissa Johnstone also had a great game on Saturday. You can see that everything they're learning from those two seniors is paying off. And I'm just glad that it's happening in games and people can see it and they can see it for themselves of just how talented they are and how good they're going to be for our program. Because like I said, we see it in practice all the time. Moving on to the next game, well, we had 18, I have to say this stat because it amazes me. We had 18 offensive rebounds against Colorado Mines, which almost all of them were in that second half. And again, that's just pure heart. For those of you that were there, Anna sparked us. Anna took a heck of a shot to the eye. She's got a real nice shiner and some good stitches. She's tough as nails though, came back out. As soon as she came back out, she's like, "Coach, I'm ready." I was like, "All right, get checked in, let's go." But she got the rest of the team sparked, and I think that's why so many of the other players got so many offensive rebounds as well, is because of Anna. So like I said, finished with 18 offensive rebounds, and you know, we talked after the team, and everybody was disappointed, everybody's frustrated, and I said, I've got probably a multitude of words that I could use to describe our team, but in the top 5, resilient is one of them. And they were resilient Saturday. We came out and we took it to Colorado Springs. Didn't quite get 18 offensive rebounds, but still out-rebounded them, which is always a key for us. And just very proud of the effort that we had, especially after bouncing back from a kind of a heartbreaking loss. It's really tough to lose in overtime in front of a crowd like we had. It was great, but really proud of just how resilient they are. I always know, you know, if Friday's the game doesn't go as well as we planned, I know that we're going to show up and be ready on Saturday. And like I told Tom and Tom before the game, I was like, well, I feel bad for whoever we're playing tomorrow. It doesn't matter what jersey or what name is on their jersey, our girls are going to be taking it to them because they're upset about this loss and they want to bounce back. So very good, very promising to see as a coach. Brad, do you want to do highlights first before Naomi? Okay. So just some highlights from the Colorado Mines game. Quite a few of them, in my mind, I guess. Ryan, great execution on this play. It's a nice, easy 2. Here's Naomi. She just knows how to score. It's a great take. We've been working on it. Try to get a little bit more of that out of Cooper. She's a very good shooter off the bounce. Cooper also had a really great weekend for us. Knocked out some big shots against Colorado Springs. Naomi again on the block. And on the block, getting the and 1. End of the quarter play. Great execution again. Ryan knocks it down. Anna going to work again on the block. Our posts have really been playing well the last couple weekends, and that's only going to open up our outside shooting even more. Love the energy from the bench every time we watch film. Love seeing all the people on the bench getting up and cheering. Naomi missing, but getting her own rebound and finishing it. Another nice move by Nae. It's a Naomi highlight reel. Another strong take by Anna. That was after she got her eyes split open. Moving on on to Saturday's game. Cooper finally found her groove from the three-point line a little bit, which is nice because she is a good shooter. She's just been, some of them just haven't been going in, but it was great to see her shots fall on Saturday. Naomi didn't let up. Naomi and Mel are really fun to watch play together. They're always looking for each other and just playing really well together. Cooper from downtown. Then the first quarter. And Molly's favorite little shot from the baseline. Sammy knocking down a pretty tough shot. And our end of the quarter play worked again. You know, I mentioned Cooper getting some shots to fall. She also just, her teammates, I didn't really get to see Cooper watch before her ACL, but her teammates said, oh, it's good to see the old Coop back. Great pass from Cooper into Mel. Mel had a great Saturday as well. It was all around just great team effort, great team contributions from everybody. I really like how we're playing right now. I know we're only going to continue to get better. We're starting to really gel as a team and find everybody on the court and getting them their shots where their strengths are. So very exciting as a coach to see. With all of that being said, I want to bring Naomi up here. Naomi, like I said, is a freshman for us, future of our program. She's just a phenomenal person, not just basketball player. I know Coach Glenn had her brother Zach up here a while ago and talked about her family. Naomi's got a great family, love her parents. I think it's really cool she gets to be here going to school with her brother. Makes it easier on her parents when they want to come watch games. They are huge Chiefs fans, so they're very excited after the weekend. But like I said, Naomi, she works hard every single day, has great confidence, especially for a freshman. She knows what she can do, she believes in herself, and she's very coachable. I wish I could have a lot of Naomi's on my team, but very excited I get her for 4 years. So with all that said,
hello everybody. Hello. I'm a Chiefs fan. I mean, probably not as hardcore as Cooper, but I'm still a Chiefs fan. I'm from Greeley, Colorado. I'm an industrial engineer, and I'd say I came to school for the education, obviously, and also plus have my brother here. And when I told my parents I was going to come here, they were so happy just because they're like, oh, we can visit you as my brother. But, yeah, this season has been going really good. I've gained a lot of confidence from the beginning to now, mostly because of we call each other the posties because of all our posts, and I just learned a lot from Anna and Molly, and me and Mel are starting to gel really well together now. And it's really good. Future plans. I don't know what I want to do. Maybe play overseas when I'm done. Who knows? Maybe do some coaching, and then after all that, do something with engineering because I'm an engineer.
any questions for Naomi or myself?
Naomi, how'd you get so good with your left hand? Your right hand, but you go to your left.
Oh, actually, I think, I don't know what it was. Maybe 5th or 6th grade, I broke my right thumb playing softball because I bunted wrong or something like that. And like for a month I was in a little cast thing, so I just worked on my left hand.
It's paid off.
Yeah. Helped a lot.
That's a good question, but I think my interpretation is her level of adjusting to this level of basketball. Pretty tough pressure stuff.
Yeah, I think just playing a lot with our post and one-on-one, and probably my club years throughout the summer, I got a lot of exposure, experience playing with some of the best girls in the country. I'd say that helped me a lot. Yeah, I'm playing also with my brother. When I was younger, I played with the guys. So, yeah, I played with them a lot. I don't know, teams and stuff.
Give me flack for flying Kansas City Chiefs flag in Greeley, Colorado.
Oh, yeah, all the time. Yeah, but my family's from Topeka, and then my dad used to live there. I've been a Chiefs fan all my life.
Naomi, do you have any comment on Coach's high heels that you wore?
Oh, jeez. I'm surprised I haven't broke yet. And when we do something really good, she stomps her foot, or if we do something not so great, she gets really mad. Me and Mel sit next to each other, we're just like,
I've forgotten in the program. Is your brother you're older, 2 years older?
yeah, he's a redshirt freshman, but he's a year older than I am.
You're older.
Yeah. I just kind of got lucky.
We got lucky.
I just got lucky. The coach recruited me last year, and then yeah, he didn't even know my brother came to this school, and he called me up and said, I'm really interested in you. I was like, oh, my brother comes here. And it just worked out really, really well.
I think I'm the lucky one in that equation.
No, I think you too.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for your support. Thanks for coming out Friday and Saturday.
Well, good afternoon. Before we get going, I was giving some information that this Thursday is Maria's birthday. So make sure that you tell her happy birthday and send her lots of emails on Thursday. Okay, so, and Sandy did not tell me that. But, yeah, you know, we kind of had an okay weekend. It was all right. You know, I think big thing for us, you know, obviously Friday night, you know, you gotta always talk about it. Every game is just that, just one game. But, you know, I'm not gonna lie, after Friday night, we were pretty jacked. To beat them on our home floor like that feels pretty good. And do it 2 years in a row now. I think we're kind of getting past the point where we feel like we're that little brother. And we really feel like we're kind of getting somewhere with our program. Because they are a good program. And they are a very good basketball team. We still got to play them yet again down there where they'll be ready for us, but you know, you always want to take care of your home floor, and that felt really good to be able to accomplish that. Once again, you know, obviously we were able to build a nice lead. I thought we had a tremendous first half defensively, really made it tough on them. I thought our guys executed our game plan extremely well, and just like we knew though, we said they're going to come back at us. You know, they're a good team. They got the same kind of kids we do. They're great kids too, and they're not going to just lay down for us, and they did. They came back at us and was able to bring it back to one in the second half, and then just the resilience of our guys be able to get back at it and go. And I think probably the one thing we took away after the game was we got to learn to continue to work on playing better with the lead, and hopefully be able to hold them off a little bit more than get it down to one. Because I think Mesa was the same way. We kind of had a lead there. We had some other early leads where we did lose it completely early in the first semester. So it was kind of a good thing that we've been able to be in that position, though. It's a nice position to be in when you have some leads and be able to work on that. So coming around on Saturday, when we were able to build that lead, we had that same talk at halftime. And finally, we really did a great job of coming out. And really it's more on the offensive side, where we were able to take a 20-point lead and take it to 30 within the first 5 minutes of the second half. And really honestly put the game, where they were, we knew that they were a good team as well, Colorado Springs, but we just really took the wind out of their sails when we made that run right off the bat. And so I was really proud of the guys for being able to do that. And so that's something I think that, again, that we've improved upon. And hopefully we get in that position quite a few more times this year and be able to have success like that. As you know, Alec was just tremendous this weekend, had a tremendous offensive effort. And defensively did really well. We put him on Colorado Mines' best scorer and said, you just need to harass him and make life uncomfortable for him, and he did. And so, it pretty much took him out of the game, which made it tough for them because they do require him to score a lot of points for them within their program. So, he did a great job on the defensive end as well, even though he got Offensive Player of the Week this week, for his 2 performances this past weekend. And with that, he's really come a long ways. We've gone through a process of, he was kind of struggling a little bit on the offensive end. Shooting percentage was a little low, and we just really had to talk about maybe a little bit of shot selection, decision making and stuff, and that's never an easy conversation to have. You're always worried about having confidence when you have those conversations and stuff, and he's handled it extremely well, very maturely, and has been very coachable. And I think now he's reaping the benefits because of that. And so I'm really happy for him in those regards. And it also helps that he's got some teammates that can flat out shoot the basketball. We shot 90% that first night from 3. And so to go 10 for 11, that's pretty nice. And you can't count on that every night, but it sure is nice when that happens. And we had plenty of guys, and I think it was Coach T was talking about, he had a conversation with an assistant from Colorado Springs, and he goes, how do you guard a team where everybody shoots over 40% from 3? And we said, well, we got one guy that's not, but he's, probably since Christmas, he has been. I think it's Mitch Suker. He's been going pretty well since Christmas. And while they're sitting there talking, Mitch was hitting like 3 in a row right in front of him. So, a little intimidating, I'm sure, at the time. And we have guys that can shoot the ball, and when they can do that, it really opens up that lane and allows Alec to be what he does best, and that's get to the rim. Even though he was able to knock down some shots on both nights, when he goes to the rim, as you know, and you've seen, he can really do some spectacular things. And so he's fun to watch, and it's great that he's with us now. So it was an excellent weekend for that. Looking ahead, like I said, people were congratulating us as we were coming in today, and I said, boy, it already feels like forever ago. We've been watching a lot of tape, getting ready for our next games coming up this weekend. And again, like I said, this conference, though, is just brutal. It's in a good way, though. We love the competition, but there is not going to be a night off, and every team that we play is really, really good. We start off with playing a Colorado State Pueblo team that, honestly, we're pretty identical when you look at it from a number standpoint. We have the same records. A lot of our stats are almost identical across the stat lines. They have some guys that can definitely shoot the 3. They have a good post inside that's been there for 3-4 years now. And so on their floor, they have a new coach who has really come in, I think, and rejuvenated some guys from their season last year. It wasn't a great year for them. And they're just playing a lot better basketball this year. So it's going to be a really good game. I like a lot of things, again, going in, though. I like our chances. I think we match up really well with them, and I like where we're playing on the defensive side especially. I really thought we had been sporadic going into Christmas, and since we've come back from Christmas, we've really made some great progress. And actually, probably culminating on Saturday night, we probably have played the most complete 40-minute game defensively we've played all season. And because if you're not aware of Colorado Springs, they are an explosive basketball team. And to hold them to 49 points, I know people were just like, how in the heck did you do that in our league? Because no one's done that to them yet this year. And so to be able to do that to a really good offensive team like that, really a lot of credit to our guys, really buying in and realizing that, yeah, we still have work to do. And we still do. The thing is, we can still get better. But, we're really playing well on that side of the basketball court right now. And then the next night, New Mexico Highlands, if you remember the Nolan Richardson days of Arkansas basketball. You know, they called it 40 minutes of hell. And that's kind of what New Mexico Highlands tries to make it. They really get after you in the full court, and they do not let up. They're relentless the entire game. And it doesn't matter if it's a 10-point game in favor of them or 20-point favor. I mean, they're just going to continue to full court pressure the entire time. So for us, it's going to be a big adjustment because we're going to have to do some things a little bit differently. They don't allow you just to come down and run offense against them. They're going to make sure that they can really make you uncomfortable. They continually keep pressure on you. And so, you know, we have some things last year. I thought we had, you know, honestly, we had a lot of success other than some turnovers. And the turnovers were just careless basketball mistakes. And hopefully we're a year older and we can do a little bit better job of taking care of it. Because when we were down at their place, I just watched our game again down there last year, and I told Coach D, I said, how in the world did we lose that game? You know, and it really just came down to we just gave them too many more possessions than what we got. We shot 60% from the field. We shot close to 60% from the three. We were over 70% from the free throw line. We almost shot identical free throws and stuff. The bottom line was that they had 3 turnovers and we had 17. And so that's just too many possessions to give a team like that. And you know, we had to lead for many times in that game, and so to watch it back again was a little frustrating because you realize we kind of forgot how close we were in that one. So going back down there, I really again like where we're at. We got a little bit of a tweak because they do run their press a little bit different this year, and so we got some tweaks we got to make to it to attack it. But I really like some things that we can do. And it'll be really exciting to go into it, and it's a new challenge for us because we don't see teams like that very often. You know, most teams will allow you to come down and run your secondary break or run your offense, and that's not going to happen Saturday. It's going to be a totally different style of game, and we're going to have to be able to adapt, and hopefully we can come out in the right side of that, but it'll be a challenge for sure. Before I get going here, do you have any questions from anybody?
You
Go for it.
Last year, if I remember correctly, didn't you use Mitch a lot to break that press? It must be awful nice to have a 6'9" kid that can handle the ball that you can throw over the top of one of those guys.
We did well. He's basically what we call our trail post, and so we used our trail post to pass it in. And so yeah, Mitch was part of that. And so obviously that's one of our. We're going to have a couple different press breakers, and so one of those will involve him quite a bit with that. But yes, he does handle the ball very well for a kid his size. You know, in high school he actually played the wing. He was the 6'7" wing, and because he had 2 other guys that were 6'8" or taller on his team, and so it was a pretty big high school team. And and then when he got here in redshirt in his first year, he grew a couple more inches. So now that makes him a little better.
I thought that just another comment, different subject, but I thought your bigs were awesome this week. And Logan has been just amazing this year, but Tristan has really added so much.
Well, exactly right. You know, that's the thing about having 2 guys. You know, and obviously Logan is really good offensively. You know, he's so efficient. He's shooting over 60% from the field. When we need a bucket, you know, he's a guy we can get touches to. And you can't play him one-on-one. He's too darn good. His footwork is tremendous. He has a great feel for the game. Obviously, he's a senior, so he's had experience and stuff, but he's really tough to guard. But I think for me, both those 2, what really makes us really strong is the fact that we can put those guys one-on-one with anybody else's post. And they defend great posts. Last weekend, we mentioned it about the kid from Colorado Christian. You know, he was averaging over 20 points, had 22 or 24 against Black Hills the night before. We held him to 2. And we didn't double one time. Those guys handled them on their own. That kid that went this weekend, he had 24 and 24 again. So it's really a nice thing to be able to say, hey, guys, going one-on-one with this guy, we can handle, we don't have to come double. And they do. And obviously, they're big, they're strong, they're tough to move. And everybody always asks me, has Logan gotten bigger this year? And I assume they weren't talking about his height. So, so yeah, he's put on probably a little weight, but that's in the post. I don't mind that. You know, if it was one of my guards, I'd worry about it a little bit. But in the post, I like to see a little girth and a little extra weight in there. Yeah.
Before Christmas break and after Christmas break, it seems like this team has gotten to be much more physical. Is there something going on in practice that's done different?
Well, no. I mean, our practices, if you ever came and watched one, they're very competitive practices. Our guys get after it, and that's why we get better every week. We really stress that, obviously, as a staff, that they continue to work against each other. We try to put them in competitive situations in about everything that we do, whether it's a shooting drill or whether we're going 5-on-5. But that's kind of who our guys are. We always talk about playing with an edge, and that doesn't just happen when the lights turn on and the crowd comes in to watch us play. It's got to happen in practice too, and that's the way our practices are. And they're fun, and that's, there isn't very many times where, in these last 2 years with this group that, I'm looking at my watch going, oh my goodness, it's only been 45 minutes and this practice is dragging. It goes by fast because our guys are really fun to watch, the coach, and because they really get after it. And I think that's a big carryover from what we have in practice. Our practices, we have a drill called ISO drill, and we sometimes have to reel them back because they get after one another. We might get someone hurt sometimes. It's physical they get with one another. So, but it's a good thing. It's part of becoming that tough physical team, not only mentally but also physically. What else? Okay, we got some highlights here, I guess, from I think it's just the Colorado Mines game.
Were a lot of them in that game?
There were.
Didn't get the same.
They did throw a little wrinkle. They came out in the 2-3 zone right away at us. They hadn't really ran much of 2-3, and our guys did a great job of adapting to it and executing it. You can see here Logan using his footwork, just patience, getting the up and under. Troy doing what Troy does best.
Looks like
You can't put a hand down on him, or Jack, or Will for that matter. Again, nice little play here, just a simple pick and roll, but great hands by Logan to catch that. Jack coming off a little out of bounds play, knocking it down, and had a great night shooting Friday night. Here's a tremendous play by Damani. Damani, keep that ball alive and then knock it back out, and then get the 3 out of it. And I think as you're watching these plays, you kind of watch their bench and you watch our bench. I was really proud of the way our guys were on the bench. You can just tell that our guys really care about one another. Alec doing a great drive there, finishing with the left hand. He is actually left-handed, even though he shoots right-handed most of the time. And he's showing a little bit of his spring right here. Here's Mitch with a nice little reverse. And a heck of a pass and an end catch by Mitch as well for the dunk coming down. And then another nice back cut by Damani for another dunk. And those actually were not by design. Those are just happening. Great ball movement. Again, look at our bench. Again, that just really excites me when I see our bench like that. I was kind of just noticed that when they made plays, there wasn't a lot of excitement there, and on our side, you just see the guys celebrating one another and how much they really care about each other. And that's something that's pretty special. And there's a heck of a, that's not what, you don't work on that in practice right there. So, great weekend, but like I said, we got to look forward. As I tell the guys, you worked hard, you put themselves in a position, as we call the bubble. We're in the bubble right now for conference. We don't try not to pay too much attention to that, but it's always nice just kind of know where you sit. And because it all just comes down to one game at a time. You just got to keep getting as many wins as you can from here on out and just keep focusing on that. But I did bring one of our guys here with me as well to kind of get to know a little bit. It's one of our redshirt freshmen. And this is Trase Olsen. Trase is from Campbell County High School in Gillette. Trace's head coach that he had at Gillette, I coached at Shattern my very first year of coaching down at Shattern State. And so it's kind of one of those things, when you coach a player's kid or one of his players now, you're getting kind of old. And so, and I'm from Riverton, and in Riverton we hate Gillette, so it really had to swallow some pride to let Trase come on board. But he's been worth it. Trase has been a nice surprise to our program. He really plays extremely hard, which I knew he would, because Coach Lackey demands that, you know, over there at Campbell County. And Trase here has really been a surprise in the fact of the way that he's been able, because he's not, if you look at him, you know, there's not a lot there physically. Okay, but, you know, he plays tough. He has some moxie to him. He's not afraid to get in there and mix it up. And so once we can finally, hopefully, get a little bit more weight on him and stuff, he's going to be able to do some things in the future here. And we're just really excited to have him here. But I'll let him tell you a little bit more about himself here.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Right.
I'm Trase Olsen. I'm a computer science major. I really enjoy the school. The reason why I came here is because it's just a great opportunity for me to better myself for the future and play the game that I love as well. I was a little nervous coming in as a freshman, and it was a big change for me. I mean, at my high school we played fast, and at this pace it's even faster, so it made me a little nervous. But I really enjoy it now, and it's really fun. So I think what I'm going to do with my career is I'd like to work back in Wyoming, my home, but anywhere really I like it. So.
How was the redshirt thing feeling? You know, it's from going from a player, obviously, all those years in high school to have to sit and watch him play. That's got to be a little tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's different, but you know, it's just something you got to work for, and I really like working for stuff, so that's I can accept that. I mean, it's a year for me to get used to this college basketball and better myself.
In your position, are you a shooter, or are you a slasher? Or?
I'm a shooter, more of a shooter. So.
Good.
Anybody else?
We like shooters. We really like shooters.
All right, great. I would like to echo Jerry's comments. The crowds both nights were tremendous. Really appreciate the support. Really appreciate the noise. And honestly, it was great having the band there Saturday night. You know, there's no question we have the best band in the conference. And so we really appreciate them being there as much as they can, because they really help increase the atmosphere and make it really feel like a great collegiate atmosphere when we play here at home.
I saw a couple of buddies. I've been telling these guys for 2 years now, you need to get to a tech basketball league, because this Rocky Mountain Conference is phenomenal. We're not only good, but you see some great competition. So I saw 2 different families, actually 3 families there that, you know, made a game last year, made this game last year, and they were there again last night. He said, I gotta come to more, I gotta come to more. So you just gotta make a point. They were commenting, well, Doug Foley played with Kim here back in the 70s. Is that where he got his nickname, Slick?
Slick, he was slick in high school.
He was. And when Alec did that ankle breaker on that kid and hit the three, Foley came out of his chair. He was pretty impressed with that young man. And he called Jack Pittler, he said, who was that farmer-looking kid?
That's the most unlikely looking basketball player I think I've ever seen.
Until he shoots it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again. Yeah.
Do you think they can fill it on the 28th of February?
And when we have Black Hills here, yeah, you know what? I think if both of us continue to keep playing what we did, it's going to be a pretty big game.
Yeah.
It already is a big game, but there's going to be some things on the line if we both continue to head the path that we're heading right now. So hopefully we both can do that, because they're playing awfully well up the road there as well.
Right, for the team where we're at.
And we kind of talk about that. We want to make this the hardest road trip in the RMAC, and I think we're doing a pretty good job of that right now. So again, appreciate your support, and it's great to hear the families are coming out. Encourage them to spread the word, because we do like it when the gym is packed. There's lots of noise in there, and it's a fun atmosphere for everybody. So thanks again, appreciate it.
All right, just in closing real quick, I do think this is when basketball gets really fun, right? When things start to shake out in the conference, and to see that we already have one team kind of in that bubble, it's going to be fun to watch. I can't wait to see the end. With that being said, a big thank you to Trase and Naomi for taking time out of your busy schedules to come talk to us. This is why we come, to watch you guys play. This is why we're here. We love to hear your stories and what you guys are all about. And thanks to Subway, and we will see you next week at Buffalo Wild Wings.